The invitation came on fancy paper with gold writing on it. Emma Sinclair picked it up with 2 fingers like she did not want to touch it too much. It was for the Crystal Heights annual charity gala. It said people had to wear their best clothes at 7 o'clock exactly. As the boss of Sinclair Tech Industries, Emma Sinclair had to be. The people on the board wanted her to come. The people who gave money wanted her to donate. Everyone else wanted her to be happy and pretend that everything was okay. Emma Sinclair had to go to the Crystal Heights annual charity gala because it was her job. The people, the Crystal Heights annual charity gala, were waiting for her. Everything was not fine. It has been 3 months now since Emma got divorced from Richard Blackwood. That is when the divorce actually became final. 3 months have gone by since her lawyer called her to tell her that Richard Blackwood is already engaged to be married to Christina Marsh. Christina Marsh is a yoga instructor who's 26 years old. She has a lot of people following her on Instagram than the population of some small countries. It has been 3 months since Emma found out that her marriage to Richard Blackwood was not what she thought it was. She realized that the 7 years she spent married to Richard Blackwood were based on lies. These lies were very complicated. Emma is still finding out new things about them. Richard Blackwood and his lies have been a shock to Emma. She let the invitation fall onto her mahogany desk. Went back to the quarterly reports. The numbers were clear. The numbers were honest. The numbers always made sense, which is something people rarely do. People can be confusing. The numbers are always straightforward. She liked that about the numbers. The numbers never let her down, not like people sometimes did. She preferred the reports to the invitation on her mahogany desk. The quarterly reports and the numbers it contained were what really mattered to her. Her assistant Jennifer knocked softly on the door before she came in. The photographer has arrived to take some pictures for the Forbes feature. Emma looked at her watch. It was already 2:15. She had been working since 5 in the morning. That is a time. 6 hours were gone already. Emma could not believe that much time had passed. She had been working on things since 5 that morning. Now it was 2:15. You asked me to remind you 1 hour. Jennifer's face was really calm, did not show any feelings. That was at 1:15. Emma. She smoothed out her navy suit jacket. She said thank you. Then she told them to send the people in. The photo shoot did not take long. It was over in 45 minutes. The person taking the pictures said things like stand here, turn a little to the side, lift your chin up, pull your shoulders back and smile, but do not smile much. Emma did everything the person said exactly as they said it. She was very good at following directions and doing what people told her to do. The photo shoot was something Emma did. She was used to doing what people asked her to do, like the photo shoot, and she was good. At the photo shoot, when the photographer was gone, Jennifer came back with coffee. She looked really concerned. Jennifer said, "You need to eat something." Jennifer was saying this because Jennifer wanted to make sure you were okay. I had my breakfast this morning. Breakfast was something I really needed to start my day. The breakfast I had was pretty good. That was 9 hours ago. Emma accepted the coffee. I am going to eat at the gala tomorrow night. Jennifer was not sure about the gala. She was thinking about the gala. I have finished making the seating chart for the gala. You should know that Richard Blackwood is coming to the gala. The coffee suddenly tasted bitter. That is the way Richard is. Richard never misses a chance to meet people and make connections. He also loves being the center of attention and seen by others. Richard is always looking for ways to network. Be seen. The man is bringing a guest to the place. He's got someone coming with him. The guest is going to be with the man, Christina. Emma put the cup down carefully. Her hands felt like they were going to shake. She did not let them. That is fine. The place is really big. It is a venue. Your table is near the dance floor. His is 3 tables over. Jennifer, is this some kind of test for me? Are you really trying to drive me crazy, Jennifer? I feel like Jennifer is doing this on purpose. Jennifer, why are you being so tough on me? I am trying to get you ready. Jennifer's voice became really gentle. You do not have to do this thing. If you want, you can just send some money. Then you can stay at home. Let Richard think that he is the reason I am leaving. No way. Emma shook her head. I will act like a professional. I will make sure everyone sees that Richard does not bother me all. I will show everyone that the things Richard does are not getting to me. Are you unaffected? Emma looked at her assistant. She thought to herself what Emma is. That is none of their business. Emma did not want to talk about it. In an office somewhere else in the city, Owen Parker was talking to his daughter on a video call. The face of Sophie, who's 7 years old, was on his phone screen. She had pigtails, was missing her 2 front teeth, which made her look very cute. Owen Parker was happy to see Sophie on the video call. Dad, why do you have to go to the party? I mean, what is so special about this party that you really have to be? Is it because you know a lot of people who are going to the party? I just do not get why you have to go to the party, because it is part of my job.
Sweetheart.
You do not like parties because they are just not your thing. Fancy parties are really not something that you enjoy attending. Owen smiled despite himself. I do not hate them. I just like being with you better than spending time with people like them. Then you should just stay home. We can make a pizza. Watch that documentary about penguins. The documentary about penguins is really good. The penguin documentary will have to wait until tomorrow. Owen was the senior project director at Sinclair Tech for 4 years. He knows what the company expects from him. The gala tonight is a deal for Sinclair Tech, and Owen needs to be there because Emma Sinclair herself asked him to come. Owen has to be at the gala tonight for Sinclair Tech. He wants to make sure everything goes smoothly for Sinclair Tech. Jennifer called him with a message. The message was that Owen Parker has to be. He is not invited, he is required to attend. For 4 years, Emma had talked to him directly, maybe 6 times. She always talked about work. She was always brief. Her conversations were always to the point. Mrs. Rodriguez showed up behind Sophie on the screen. Mrs. Rodriguez is trying to work out a deal for time on the screen before Sophie goes to bed. Sophie smiled. She was not sorry all. It was worth trying. That was a try. But the answer is still 8:30. Owen checked his watch to see what time it was. I really need to finish getting ready. You have to be good for Mrs. Rodriguez. While I am gone, I am always good. You are always coming up with ideas. There is a difference between you and other people. The art of music is not the same when you are around. You are always creative. Sophie giggled. I love you, Dad. Love you too, Penguin. The screen went dark. Owen stared at his reflection in the bathroom mirror. His tuxedo looked really good on him. It was made special for him 2 years ago. His late wife had wanted him to wear it to her company's awards dinner. Owen had not put on the tuxedo since the day of her funeral. The tuxedo fit Owen well. It was clear that it was made by a tailor. Owen thought about his wife and the awards dinner, and now the tuxedo reminded him of her. The tuxedo was a reminder of his late wife, but it also made him feel sad. Stop, he said to himself as he looked in the mirror. Tonight is not the time to think about things. The plan for tonight is simple. Go to this event, shake some hands, make some talk, and then go back home. He was only going to be for a few hours. Tonight is about getting through these hours, and that is all. His phone buzzed. He got a text from Derek Chen, his colleague in the engineering department. The message said, I heard you got called in by the Ice Queen herself. I wonder if I should be jealous or worried about you. The Ice Queen is what people call their boss. She is really tough. Derek Chen was asking if he should be feeling jealous or concerned about the Ice Queen calling him in. Owen typed back, I am not doing either of those things. I am just doing my job. Derek responded immediately. I heard that her ex-husband is coming with his girlfriend. This is going to be a problem because there will definitely be some drama with her ex-husband and his new girlfriend around. The drama with her ex-husband and his new girlfriend is much guaranteed. Owen did not say anything back. All the gossip at the office was really getting to him. He got ready. Then he kissed Sophie goodnight on another video call. Then Owen drove to the Crystal Heights Hotel. He was going to the Crystal Heights Hotel. The ballroom was really packed when he got there. There were these chandeliers that hung from the ceiling. They were shining this beautiful crystal light all over the marble floors. The women were all dressed up in their fancy designer gowns. They were talking to the men who were wearing their expensive tuxedos. The waiters were walking around with trays of champagne and little appetizers. The appetizers were so small that they did not fill you up at all. The ballroom was still really crowded, and the women in their designer gowns and the men in their tuxedos were all having a good time. Owen took a glass of sparkling water. He found a place to stand near a pillar. This way he could watch what was going on without getting involved. He saw some people he knew, like the board members and the heads of departments. There were also some people from companies that he recognized. Owen noticed that the room was filled with people from the industry, including some of his competitors. Then he saw Emma Sinclair. He was looking at Emma Sinclair. Emma Sinclair was standing there. She was standing in the middle of the room. The room was filled with investors. She had on a burgundy dress. The dress was nice and fancy. It was not too much. Her dark hair was pulled back. She was standing up straight. She had a smile on her face. It was a smile. The woman looked like she was in charge of everything. She looked like a woman who knew what she was doing. The woman in the burgundy dress was a woman in control. Owen saw that she was tense. He noticed this because her shoulders were stiff. The way she held her clutch was also a little too tight. For a moment, her smile was not as bright as it was before, but then she smiled again. Owen noticed the tension in her shoulders. Parker. Somebody clapped him on the shoulder. Derek Chen was suddenly standing next to Parker holding a bottle of champagne. Parker said to Derek Chen, "You actually came to see Parker. I had to come to this place because it was necessary for me to be here. The thing is, people told me that I was supposed to come.
So I came."
The Ice Queen herself said that. Derek was smiling. "What did you do to get a compliment from the Ice Queen?" Owen shrugged his shoulders. He had no idea. The meeting probably just needed some senior staff members to be present. Owen thought that was the reason for the meeting, that senior staff needed to be. Derek lowered his voice like he was sharing a secret, said that she needs people on her side tonight. Then he said, "Look who just walked in." Owen looked in the direction he was staring. Richard Blackwood walked in with a blonde woman hanging all over him. They walked through the crowd and people noticed them, stopped a lot so the young blonde woman could stand there and smile. Richard Blackwood could shake hands with people. Richard Blackwood and the young blonde woman really wanted everyone to see them. Emma saw them. Owen looked at her. He was surprised that her face did not show any emotion. Then he saw something in her eyes. He saw pain in her eyes. He saw fury in her eyes. He saw humiliation in her eyes. Then it was all gone. Emma's face was calm again. She had put on a mask to hide how she was really feeling. The mask was in place. Emma looked perfectly fine. Owen was watching Emma. He knew that the mask was complete. Emma was hiding behind the mask. "This is going to be really fun," Derek said to himself. Owen did not say anything. He was looking at Emma as she watched her ex-husband. Then it became clear to Owen why he had to be. Emma needed people to see what was happening, and she needed people she could trust to watch her and see that she was okay. She needed proof that she was doing fine, that Emma was really fine. But she was not fine at all. The evening was really dragging on. Owen was being nice to the people he works with. He did not drink any of the champagne. He kept looking at his watch to see what time it was. Owen thought about Sophie, what she was doing at that moment. She was probably brushing her teeth now. Then she would read her book about space. Sophie would likely ask Mrs. Rodriguez some tough questions about black holes. Owen was thinking about leaving when the music changed. The music was now slower and more quiet. A string quartet was playing this music. Couples started moving to the dance floor. Owen moved further back into his corner. He wanted the music and the people to forget about him. He wanted to be invisible. Owen just wanted to disappear from the dance floor and the string quartet. The thing I tried did not work. Owen Parker. Emma Sinclair appeared in front of him. She was wearing a burgundy gown that caught the light from the chandelier. Emma Sinclair had a smile on her face, but when Owen Parker looked closely, he could see that the skin around her eyes was tight. This made Owen Parker think that Emma Sinclair was not as calm as she seemed. "Miss Sinclair," he spoke to her in a polite way. "Emma, please. We are not at the office now." She looked back over her shoulder to where Richard was standing with Christina. They were laughing really loudly at something. Then she looked back at Owen. For a moment, her mask had slipped enough for Owen to see the real emotion underneath. "I need to ask you something, Emma. All right? I really want you to dance with me. Dancing with me would be much fun. I love dancing." I think it would be great if you would dance with me. Owen blinked. The request seemed okay to him considering what was going on. It was totally fine for a CEO to dance with a director at a company party. The CEO and the senior director were just doing what people do at these things. I can definitely do that for you. It is something that I'm able to do. The task is something that I can complete. I will do the task. A look of relief flashed across her face quickly that he almost did not see it. She said, "Thank you, Owen," and the people with him moved toward the dance floor. The dance floor already had couples on it. Owen saw that some board members were watching the dance floor with a lot of interest. Derek caught Owen's eye from across the room. He gave Owen a really big thumbs up. The dance floor was where Owen was going to dance with the people. Owen knew that the board members were watching Owen and the other people on the dance floor. Emma stepped closer to him. Her perfume smelled nice. It was not too strong, and it was clear that it was expensive. The perfume had a smell of jasmine in it. She put one of her hands on his shoulder. She held out her other hand to him. Owen took Emma's hand gently, and he put his other hand on Emma's waist, making sure to keep a respectful distance from Emma. The music started to play. Owen and his partner moved together smoothly. Owen's late wife had wanted them to take ballroom lessons before they got married. At the time, Owen did not want to do it. Now he was thankful for the music lessons, because his body still remembered the steps. Emma said, "You dance well." Her voice sounded calm. He could tell she was trying hard to keep it that way. My wife really loved dancing. Dancing was something she was very passionate about. She actually made me take dancing lessons with her. Dancing lessons were not really my thing. My wife loved dancing so much that she wanted me to learn dancing too. Emma's face changed a little. I did not know that Emma was married. She died 4 years ago. That is something that happened in the past. She passed away. It has been for years now. The thing that happened to her it is not going to change. She is. That is something that we have to live with. The fact that she passed away is an event. I feel bad about what happened. My employees are very important to me. I should have understood them better. I should have known more about my employees, what they are going through. My employees deserve my attention. I will do my best to learn more about my employees. You have 300 people working for you. Owen kept his tone light. He did not sound like he was accusing you of anything. You cannot be expected to remember the history of every single person who works for you. Still, Owen saw that. Richard and Christina had come onto the dance floor. They were dancing in a way, making lots of crazy moves to get people to look at them. Richard and Christina were really putting on a show. Christina laughed loudly, her voice going all the way across the ballroom. Richard and Christina were dancing together. Owen watched them. Emma's grip on his hand got a little tighter. Emma's hand was holding his hand. It got a little tighter, but you could barely notice it. Owen said, "You do not have to watch the videos." He said this quietly. People are watching each other all the time. Emma's voice sounded really flat. That is how things go when everyone is watching the people around them, like the people are watching Emma, and Emma is watching the people. The music got really loud. Couples around them changed how they were standing. Richard and Christina moved in closer. They were now a few feet away from Owen. They were close enough that Owen could hear what Richard and Christina were talking about. "Baby, you are stepping on my dress," Christina said in a way. Emma's breathing changed. It started to get fast. Her breaths were not as deep as they were before. Emma's breathing was now faster and shallower. 7 years, she said. All of a sudden, her voice was really quiet. "We were married for 7 years. Do you know when he started going out with her?" Owen did not say a word. This was not something that required a response. From him, the question just was not important enough for Owen to answer. During our anniversary dinner year, Emma just kept talking like she did not think I would say anything back. I got up to the restroom, and when I came back, he was busy texting someone on his phone. I caught a glimpse of the screen for 1 second. Said, "Missing you tonight." Emma stopped talking for a moment. I waited until we were outside in the parking lot, and I confronted him about it. He told me it was a message from someone he works with. I decided to believe him because it was easier to do that than to think about all the things it could mean and have our whole life fall apart. Emma Owen started to say something. She just kept on talking. He asked her to marry him at the restaurant where he asked me to marry him. I learned about it from a magazine. They even sat at the table. He used the photographer to... She laughed when she told me. It did not sound like she really meant it. I guess doing things the way every time can be a good thing for some people like him when it comes to proposing to the women he wants to marry. Like me and like her, Owen said he was sorry. He really meant it. Owen felt bad. He was being honest when he said sorry. People always say things like that. The truth is, they are all waiting to see if I will crack under the pressure. The board of directors wants to find out if I am really emotionally stable enough to be a leader. Richard wants to prove that he is right. I am wrong. Christina, she just wants to make sure everyone knows that she is there, that Christina is a part of this too. Richard spun Christina around fast. Christina let out a scream. Some people in the room started clapping for Richard and Christina. MMA's Tom demeanor started to break down more. I want them to think that I am doing okay. I want them to believe that I have gotten over everything. I want them to see that Emma could be loved by someone too. Owen felt the shift before she spoke again. He could sense the desperation. The air was building up inside her. The desperation was getting stronger. I really want you to kiss me. I am thinking about the way it would feel if you were to kiss me. I wish you would kiss me now. Kiss me. I am waiting for you to kiss me. The man stopped dancing. He and the woman stood frozen in place, while other couples swirled around the man and the woman. What? For a moment, that is all. Here, where everyone is watching. Emma's voice became urgent now. Right where Richard is standing so Richard can see. I want Richard to think that I have moved on from everything. I want everyone to see that I am doing fine, that everything is okay, with me. Emma. Owen saw it then. He saw the desperation in her eyes. He saw the pain that she was trying to hide. Owen realized that she was willing to do about anything to seem like everything was okay even when she was really falling apart on the inside. The desperation and pain were eating away at her. Owen saw that she was trying to hold on to anything that would make her appear whole again. Emma, he said in a voice. Please. Her voice actually cracked when she said that. I will make sure it is worth your time. You will get a promotion, a raise. You will be in charge of the Riverside project. You will have the freedom to do things your way. Just please help me get this one thing I really want. The Riverside project is really important to me. I need your help to make it happen. The light from the chandelier was really too bright. Owen felt like people were staring at the chandelier in him. He did not know who was looking at the chandelier in him. Please, Emma said again. I am not asking you because I am your boss. I am asking you because I am really struggling and I feel so embarrassed. I do not want to lose control in front of all these people. There are 200 people. Emma felt like she was on the verge of breaking down. Owen's phone was buzzing in his pocket. It was probably Mrs. Rodriguez calling to tell him something about Sophie. Owen thought about Sophie being safe at home. He remembered the conversation he had with Sophie week. Sophie had asked him a question. She wanted to know why her friend's parents were getting divorced. Owen thought about Sophie. How she was feeling about her friend's parents and their divorce. He thought about Sophie again. How he wanted to protect her from things like divorce. People can be really mean to each other sometimes. He had told Sophie that when people stop being kind to each other, it is very painful for everyone around the people who are being mean. The people who are being mean do not realize that their behavior hurts everyone around them. He had told Sophie that it hurts everyone around the people who are not being kind to each other. Now Emma stood in front of him. She was asking him to be a part of something that was meant to cause harm to the target. The thing is, the target might actually deserve this kind of treatment, but that did not make it any easier for him. Emma was really asking him to participate in something that was designed to hurt the target. That was a pretty tough thing for him to consider. The music will be soon, Emma said. Thomas is watching the music. This is my chance to do something because the music is going to end. Thomas is still watching the music. Owen said this quietly. He said, "You think this is your chance to use him?" Owen said. This is what Owen meant. He said, "This is your chance to use Owen." She flinched. I did not mean the conversation to go in that direction. The woman looked really upset. I felt bad about what I said to her. I did not mean it like that. You really did mean that. That is exactly what was going through your mind. He spoke in a voice it was not mean, just truthful. You want me to kiss you so that your ex-husband gets jealous? You want the board to think you are stable. This situation is not about me. It is not about you. The board and your ex-husband are what this is really. About the board and your ex-husband, you are not going to do the thing I asked you to do. The thing is not going to get done by you. I did not say that. Owen thought for a moment before he spoke. I am saying that you need to think about what you're really asking for. You want to put on a show to impress people who are not important. What is the point of that? Does it prove something if you can do the things that Richard did? Emma said, You do not understand. Her voice was really strained. People are always watching the people like Emma. They are waiting for Emma to make a mistake. Emma feels like everyone is waiting for Emma to fail. You are right. I do not get that situation. Owen met her eyes. I get what grief is. I know what it is to feel humiliated. I know what it is like to want people to stop feeling sorry for you so badly that you will do just about anything to show them you are okay. Then help me. I am helping you. He said this to me in a way, I am telling you that this will not work out. Even if I were to kiss you now, and even if Richard sees us and feels jealous, none of that is going to fix what is really broken with the relationship. It is another way to hide the problem, like putting a mask on it. The last notes of the song were still in the air. The couples around Emma and Owen finished dancing with movements, and then they just stood still. Emma and Owen were standing in front of each other, but they were not moving at all. People started clapping. It spread all around the big room where people danced the ballroom. Emma said this to me out of the blue. She told me that I will be in charge of the Riverside Project. I will have control over it. The Riverside Project is mine to run as I see fit. I get to pick the people I want to work with on the Riverside Project. This is a deal. The Riverside Project can really help my career. Owen looked at her face. He saw that she was desperate. She was also very proud. Underneath that pride, he could see that she was really scared and trying not to show it. Owen saw that she was struggling to keep her panic under control. Her face showed Owen that she was desperate and scared and trying to be strong at the time. Emma, he said slowly and carefully. You were able to do a lot than this, Emma. The words just fell into the space between them like a stone that is thrown into a lake. This makes the water move around in circles. The words had an effect on them. The words landed between them like a stone in water. It was like you could see the ripples from the words. What? Her voice was barely audible. You can do a lot better than this. It is better than using people for your good. It is better than performing to show your ex-husband something. You are better than turning the pain you feel into a game. Her hand dropped from his shoulder. That was a mistake. She took a step back. Put her professional face back on. Forget that I even asked her that. Wait, Owen did not reach for her. He just spoke quietly. He said, I will still dance with you. There are no conditions. There is no performance that you have to give. There are no rewards that you will get. I just want to dance with you if you want to dance with me, that is. Owen wants to dance with you. That is all. She looked at him like he was talking crazy. Why would you do that? She was really wondering why he would do something. It's like that. I am doing this because you asked me, and it does not cost me anything to be nice. Owen stopped talking for a moment. Richard is going to think what he wants to think no matter what we do. You cannot change the way Richard thinks. You can only control the way you think about things. What you do? The next song started to play. It was slower and more sad. Not many couples got back together to dance. Emma just stood there. You could see a lot of different emotions on her face, like she was not sure what to do. Then she slowly started to nod her head. The emotions on her face, like fear and sadness and happiness, were all still there on Emma's face. The girl was dancing. She said that is what she was doing. She was just dancing. Just dancing. They went back to their position. This time, when she put her hand on his shoulder, it felt different. The grip of her hand was not as tight as before. It was more of a touch. Her hand on his shoulder was not desperate like it was before, it was a tentative touch from her hand. "I do not know how to do this," Emma said after a while. "The thing is, I am not good at things that turn not games. Games are what I have been doing for a long time. My wife and I went to see a counselor one time," Owen said. "We did this because my wife wanted to learn how to deal with problems when they came up. The counselor told us something that I still remember to this day. Being real and authentic is hard because it makes you vulnerable. On the hand, trying to manipulate each other is really tiring. The counselor asked my wife and I which one of these we wanted to base our marriage on. My wife and I had to think about whether we wanted our marriage to be built on being authentic or on trying to manipulate each other. The counselor's words really made my wife. I think about what kind of marriage we wanted to have, smart counselor. The counselor was really expensive." Owen smiled a bit. "Yes." Richard was watching them. Now his face was thinking about what to do. Christina was talking fast. She did not even notice what was going on with Richard. "Emma said that he is staring at us." "Let him." Owen shrugged. "I am dancing with my boss at a work event, that is all. My boss is a person, and we are just having a good time. Though if we are being completely honest, I have to say, I am hoping to leave this place by 8:30. The reason I want to leave by 8:30 is because of Sophie. Sophie will be in bed by then. She still likes to know that I am home with her. I like knowing that Sophie is safe and sound at home. I want to get home to her." That brought a smile to her face. "You are thinking about your daughter while you are dancing with the CEO. My daughter is always on my mind. The job is the reason I think about my daughter all the time. Must be nice. This experience is really scary. It makes me very tired, but it is also the best thing I have ever done in my life. The thing I am talking about is terrifying and exhausting. At the same time, it is the best thing I have ever done." Emma and the other person danced together in a silence. The tension in Emma's shoulders started to loosen up. "I am sorry," she said finally. She was sorry for asking me to kiss her. She was also sorry for trying to bribe me. She was sorry for the thing, for everything that happened with the kiss and the bribe and all of it. "I am glad that you have accepted my apology. The apology is accepted, and I feel relieved that everything is okay now. The issue is, I am happy that we can move forward from the apology. Just like that. That is how it is." Owen nodded his head. "You were in a lot of pain. You made a decision that you wish you had not made. That is something that people do. The chief executive officer is not supposed to act like a person at these kinds of events. The CEO should be professional at these events. The CEO has to be very careful about what they say and do at these events. Maybe that is the problem." The song came to an end. The people dancing separated from each other in a natural way without any awkwardness. Now people were moving toward the dinner service that was being held in the room next door. Emma looked at him for a long time. "I think I should let you go now. Your babysitter is probably wondering where you are." "Probably. Mrs. Rodriguez is very punctual about overtime rates." "Thank you, Owen. For the dance. For the honesty. For not taking advantage. That is not a high standard to meet. The bar is really low. It is easy to do than that. The goal is not that hard to achieve. That is a bar to clear. People really struggle to get through it." She looked over at Richard, who was now talking to some executives. "I need to go talk to people. I want to show everyone that I am a person and a professional. I want to prove that I am stable and professional, just like the company expects from people, like Richard and the other executives." Owen said very slowly and carefully, "You could just go back to your home." Owen thought that going home was an idea for you. She looked really startled. "I do not think I can leave now. The thing is, there is the part where they recognize the donors, and then they have the speeches. You are the boss. It's the CEO. You can walk out of here whenever you want to." He stopped talking for a moment. "The truth is, the CEO is very close to a breakdown now, about 5 minutes away. Any person who is really looking at the CEO can see this. Staying at the office and trying to get through the 3 hours of work is not being strong. It is just being stubborn. The CEO needs to think about what's really important, the CEO's health. or just sitting at the desk for 3 more hours. Emma was about to say something. She did not say anything. She closed her mouth instead. Then Emma touched the side of her head right where a headache was starting to hurt. Emma could feel the headache coming on. You are right. That really bothers me. I do not like it when you are right. The fact that you are right is something that I hate. I usually am. Very annoying to my daughter, she. That is really something. I do not believe it. She actually smiled despite everything that happened to her. I bet that is not true. Owen started walking toward the exit. Then Emma followed him. They walked through some fancy doors into the hotel lobby. The lobby had a lot of marble in it. The noise from the party started to fade as they walked out. The party noise was not as loud anymore. Emma stopped near a column. She looked like she was letting all the air out of herself now that nobody could see her. Emma just stood there looking really different from the Emma that everyone else saw. I do not know what to do, she admitted. I have been planning the wedding for weeks. I thought about how I would look on my wedding day, what I would say to my wedding guests. I wanted to prove to everyone at the wedding that I was fine, that the wedding was still going to be okay, that I was really fine. Owen said that now you are picking yourself over how you do things. He thinks that is really the part. She was really quiet, just thinking about things. How did you manage to do it? I mean, after your wife passed away, how did you deal with seeing people and talking to them again? I was not honest with myself at first. I took time off. Stayed home with Sophie. We had cereal for dinner. Watched a lot of television. We cried when we felt like it. It was a tough time, but it was our tough time. Sophie, I eventually got through it. We came out the side with Sophie by my side. Emma nodded slowly. I have not cried yet, not once. Everyone says that Emma is handling this situation well. People keep telling Emma that she is doing great. The truth is, Emma is just not sure how to feel about everything that has happened. Emma is trying to be strong. It is really hard for Emma to deal with all of this. You might not be dealing with the problem. You might be putting the problem off until later. The problem is still the problem. You have to do something about the problem. That sounds really tiring to me. The whole thing just seems like it would be a lot of work, and that is what makes the thing so exhausting. Owen said to her that manipulation is really tiring. Remember when he said that? She really did laugh, even though it was a little shaky. The counselor you had was very smart. His phone buzzed. It was Mrs. Rodriguez. She wanted to know if he was going to be much longer. He had to get to Mrs. Rodriguez. I need to go, he said. For what it is worth, I think you made the right choice tonight. He thought about this for a moment, and then he looked at me and said that I really did make the choice with the thing I did. The thing I did was the choice, he said, and he meant it when he said that the choice I made was the right one. Leaving feels like I am running away from things. It is like I am trying to escape from the situation. I do not know what will happen next. Leaving is a difficult thing to do because it feels like I am running away from my problems. The feeling of leaving is really scary. It makes me think about the situation and the people I will be leaving behind, like my friends and my family, and it feels like I am running away. From them too. Sometimes it is an idea to take a step back. The company is lucky to have you as the CEO. You are a CEO because you know when the company needs to regroup and come up with a new plan. You are a CEO and you make smart decisions, like this one. Emma looked at him with a face that did not show what she was thinking. Why are you being so nice to me? I tried to trick you into doing what I wanted. You are a person. You needed someone to remember that tonight. He stopped talking for a moment. There is no reason for this. People are really complicated. They have a lot of reasons for doing things. Most people do things for reasons, not just one simple reason. Most people are exhausting. She had a smile on her face, a real smile that made her eyes shine. Owen Parker, you are really smart. For a guy who makes rocket models with his kid, the wisdom actually comes from the 7-year-old. The 7-year-old is very clear about what's right and what is wrong. The 7-year-old knows the difference. The people stood in the hotel lobby. The party was still going on without them. It was behind closed doors. They could see the city lights through the windows, and these lights were reflecting off the harbor. The city lights were really pretty. They were shining right off the water of the harbor. Emma said this out of the blue. She wanted to know about her daughter. Emma was asking about the daughter of the person she was talking to. What was her daughter like? That is what Emma wanted to know. Owen was really surprised. He had worked with them for 4 years, and they had never talked about personal things. They just did not discuss that kind of stuff. Owen thought about this for a moment, wondering why they had never shared details in all that time. Sophie is a smart girl, and she always does what she wants. She said when she was 5 years old that she wanted to be an astronaut. Now Sophie loves everything about space. We do fun science things every weekend. Month we made a model of the solar system using fruit. We used a cantaloupe for Jupiter because it is a planet and a cantaloupe is a big fruit. Sophie thinks space is the thing ever. Emma's smile got really big. The situation sounds very confusing and crazy. It was a sad day. The cantaloupe went bad. It was all rotten. Sophie was very upset. She cried for 20 minutes. She was thinking about how everything in the world can die, the planets. Then she sat down. Wrote a special kind of poem, a eulogy for the planet Jupiter, a eulogy for a cantaloupe. This eulogy was really moving. She said something about Jupiter and how it is very loyal to its moons. Jupiter is always doing things for the good of its moons and for people to learn more about it. She also talked about the sacrifice of Jupiter for understanding. The way she talked about Jupiter was very touching. Jupiter is a planet, and it is really cool that people can learn from it. Emma really seemed to be at ease for the time that evening. Emma sounds really great. She is a kid. She's also 7 years old, which means I get to answer 400 questions every single day. Night, she wanted to know why grown-ups like me lie to each other. What did you tell her? You were talking to her? I want to know what you said to her. The truth is that people sometimes tell lies because they are scared or they are hurt. Lying usually makes things worse for everyone. The people who are really worth keeping in your life are the ones you do not have to lie to. You can be honest with these people. The people worth keeping, like I said, are the ones you do not have to lie to. Emma took this in without saying a word. Your daughter is really lucky. I feel very lucky. Sophie keeps me on the track. When I have to make a decision, I think about what Sophie would learn from watching me. I want Sophie to see things when she looks at me, so I think about Sophie and what Sophie would think. That is the reason you did not want to kiss me. Is it because of that? You refused to kiss me. I want to know why. Was it really because of that thing that happened? You would not kiss me. It made me feel bad. I am still thinking about why you refused to kiss me. Partly that is true. Owen nodded his head. He also did it because what happened was not right. You knew that what happened was not right. I did not have a mind at that moment. My thoughts were all mixed up. I was not thinking clearly about the situation and what I was doing. I just was not thinking clearly. You were thinking really clearly. Like someone who has been hurt a lot and now they want to hurt someone back. This is something that people do. It is not the kind of person you want to be. You want to be better than that. She was really quiet for a long time. Richard always said that I was too truthful for my good in business. He would tell me that I needed to get better at playing the game of business, that I had to be more careful about what I said. Richard said that I needed to learn how to play games in the business world because being too honest was not always a good thing. Owen asked if it ever occurred to us that the guy might have been projecting. The thing is, he was not telling the truth, and he was also cheating on someone. Maybe our honesty was a problem for him because it showed how dishonest the guy really was. The guy was lying and having an affair, and our honesty made the guy feel bad. About his behavior, Owen said. Emma's face changed when she thought about this way of looking at things. I never thought of it that way. Emma's expression really changed as she thought about this framework. We rarely notice things when we are right. In the middle of them, Owen's phone was buzzing again. This was getting really annoying. Mrs. Rodriguez was calling him a lot. She would not give up. Owen's phone just kept on buzzing because Mrs. Rodriguez was getting insistent. Emma said to me, "You have to go. Your daughter really needs you now. The girl really needs to get some sleep. This is what she needs the most." Yes, that is true. I am 35 years old. I run a company that makes a lot of money. I think I can get home by myself. Getting home is something I can manage to do. Owen smiled. I was not worried about that all. She looked into his eyes. I do not know if I will be all right. I am going to be truthful about how I am really feeling, and that is not good. It feels like I'm getting somewhere with this, and that is a thing, being honest about not being all right. Feels like progress being honest about my feelings, and that is what I need to do. Be honest. About not being all right. It is progress. Owen, she said, as he turned to leave. I want to thank you for seeing me tonight. You saw the me, not the CEO version of me. The CEO version is impressive, but the real version is braver. He walked out of the building through the door where the valet had his car ready for him. The car was waiting for him. He got in, drove through the streets of downtown towards his house. As he drove through downtown, got streets toward his home, he thought about what happened that evening. He thought about Emma. He thought about how desperate Emma was. He thought about how vulnerable Emma was. He thought about the last-minute choice Emma made to walk from the performance. The phone in the car started ringing. It was Derek Chen. Derek said that you went home early. Now people are talking about it. People are talking about you leaving the thing that Derek said happened. I am going to take a guess. They probably think something happened between me and Emma. Maybe they saw us talking or something. They think something happened between me and Emma. Now they are making a big deal out of it. I do not know what they are thinking. They definitely think something happened between me and Emma. People have a lot of ideas about what's going on. Richard is telling everyone that Emma's mental state is a problem. The board looks really worried about Emma's state. They are all talking about Emma's state and how it is concerning. Owen let out a breath and shook his head. People really need to find things to do with their time. Better hobbies would be a start for people. This is the company Riverstone. People like to guess what is going on. Derek stopped talking. What really happened at Riverstone? Emma asked me to dance, so I danced with Emma. After that, Emma and I left the party. The truth is, parties can be really exhausting. That is all that happened with Emma and me. That is remarkably boring. Good Owen pulled into his building's garage. They hung up on him. When he got to his apartment, Mrs. Rodriguez was already there. She was knitting something that looked like a scarf. Owen saw that Mrs. Rodriguez was waiting for him in his apartment. Mrs. Rodriguez said that she is asleep. She finished her homework, brushed her teeth. They only argued about bedtime for 8 minutes, which is a lot better than the 20 minutes they usually argue. This is progress with the bedtime routine. The homework and the teeth brushing, all of these things are part of the routine that Mrs. Rodriguez has to deal with in the bedtime. Argument is a big part of that, so the fact that it only lasted 8 minutes is good news for Mrs. Rodriguez and her daily routine. With the homework and the teeth brushing and the bedtime, Owen paid her, including the money. For overtime, and he finally felt like he could breathe again, really breathe. For the first time all evening, Sophie's room was really dark. The only light came from her star projector. It was spinning around, making constellations on the ceiling. Sophie had pushed off her blanket. She was lying there in a relaxed way. Only kids can do that. They can just flop down, look all loose and sleepy. Sophie was doing that. Her star projector was still spinning around, making constellations on the ceiling of Sophie's room. The man pulled the blanket over the woman carefully. The woman stirred a bit. Dad. Her voice was thick with sleep. I am home, sweetheart, was their cake. There are 4 kinds of things that we are looking at. I took some pictures of the 4 kinds. Tomorrow, we will take a look at the structural integrity of the 4 kinds to see how strong they are. She smiled without opening her eyes. I love my dad, love you too, penguin. She was asleep again within seconds. Owen stood watching her breathe, feeling the weight of the evening settle into perspective. This was what mattered. Not corporate politics or revenge plots. This. His daughter, safe and loved and dreaming about space.